Hello children, today we are going to discuss about two other natural disasters, volcanoes and drought. We have already learned about volcanoes last year. We know that earth consists of three layers, the crust, mantle and core. Crust is the outermost layer, below that we have molten mantle. Mantle is molten because of the heat of the core. Mantle contains rocks and minerals, and below that is the hot molten core. The hot molten liquid in the core is called magma. This magma, because of the increased temperature and pressure, it pushes upward, and through the weak spots of the earth it burst out and flow down as volcano. And this phenomenon is called volcanic eruption. So we can just define a volcano as an opening on the earth's surface through which molten gas, hot liquid, ash and all are pushed out of the earth's core. When the volcano reaches the surface of the earth, that means the magma from the deep earth, when it reaches the surface of the earth, it is called lava. So don't get confused. When the hot liquid is inside the earth, it is called magma, and when it reaches the surface of the earth, the moment it starts flowing out of the earth's surface, it is called lava. Together it is called, or that process or phenomenon is called volcanic eruption. This volcano cools down and hardens to form our igneous rock. We learned about igneous rock in chapter 5, rocks and minerals. It consists of lots of minerals because it is coming from deep within the earth. Volcano or volcanic eruption can happen in sea or ocean also. From deep within the earth, they come out as volcano and that flows over the water and it solidifies due to the cool water. And that forms island. That is how islands are formed. Nobody goes in the middle of a sea and make island with rocks and sand, isn't it? That is not possible. But we have different islands in the middle of water bodies. So that is created due to this volcanic eruption. But this volcanic eruption does not happen everywhere. There are specific areas which are prone to volcanic eruption. Now this picture shows you a volcanic eruption. Mainly happens in mountains. Okay. Now we know that this core has molten liquid, that is called magma chamber. It is very clear from this picture. Okay, magma chamber means it is the core which contains a hot molten gases and liquid, and this pushes the earth upward, and through a path only it comes out. There is a path through which it rushes upward to flow out. That vertical tunnel like path is called vent, V-E-N-T, vent. Okay, that is the path through which the magma reaches the surface of the earth and flows down. And once it reaches the surface of the earth, that means the top of the mountain, it flows down and covers a large area. We cannot predict which all areas will be covered. So almost places where volcano or volcanic eruption will happen, people are not allowed to stay there because it is not predictable where it flows, to which direction it flows, how much area will be covered, and people can't live near that volcanic eruption or erupted area because it's too hot. It's too hot liquid that comes out. Okay, so we can't even go near that. So there is no danger regarding life of people because people will not live in such places. Okay, so depending upon eruption, the type of eruption, volcanoes are mainly divided into three types. We have already learned it. Active volcano, dormant volcano and extinct volcano. Active volcanoes are very active as the name suggests. They erupt frequently. They have erupted in recent years and will erupt in future. We are sure that they will erupt in future. Such volcanoes are called active volcanoes. We have a lot of active volcanoes in the Pacific area like Mount Vesuvius, Mount Etna, Mount Erebus, Mount Fuji and all are the important ones. Okay, there are several other volcanoes, volcanic erupted areas. Okay, so they are active volcanoes actually. They are that means mountain. These mountains only, from these mountains only it comes down. Okay, so active volcanoes, they have erupted in recent years and may erupt again in future at any time. It's not predictable. Second one is dormant volcano. Dormant volcano has not erupted for a long time, but there is a chance for it to erupt in future. We cannot predict that it will not erupt. It may erupt in future, we are not sure. Okay, we cannot predict it, but it has not erupted for a long time. Okay, so examples are Mount Hood, then Mount Kilimanjaro and all are examples of dormant volcanoes. And extinct volcanoes have not erupted for a long time, will not erupt in future also. Very lazy people, they won't erupt. Okay, so that is extinct volcanoes. They might have erupted long years back, but for a recorded history they have not erupted, and in future also they will not erupt. That area will have less temperature and pressure, that may be the reason. Okay, so they have stopped erupting. Such volcanoes are called extinct volcanoes, like the Hawaiian. Okay, so these are some types of volcanoes: active, dormant and extinct volcano, based on how they erupt. Clear? I hope volcanoes are clear for you. Now we can move on to the next natural disaster, that is drought, a very miserable situation that people face. Drought means an area which receives less rainfall or no rainfall for very long time, that leads to a situation called, or condition called, drought. Very sad situation. Many people are suffering, or many places are suffering from this natural disaster. People will have scarcity of water. As there is scarcity of water, plants will not grow properly. So that leads to shortage of food and high cost for the available food. So people will not get enough food, they can't afford the food that is available. So that leads to a situation called famine, where people are not able to have their food, people are not able to get water. This situation has to be faced or dealt with very properly, because it leads to the death of many people, especially children, who starve and who die because of thirst. So drought not only occurs due to lack of rainfall, it can be due to hot dry winds that continuously blow in an area, very high temperature, that means too much heat, or the summer is extreme for a long time, not seasonal summer, that means only for a season, for long time they are having the same climate. Then evaporation of moisture from the ground. The water content from the ground is easily evaporated due to very high temperature. These can also be the reasons for drought. Whatever be the reason, it's a sad situation that people are facing. See, this is a farm affected by drought. You can see that the land has cracked due to the scarcity of water. Not even a drop of water is available. The trees are dried up, or no leaves, no water content, everything is dried up. Okay, that is the situation of drought, and people have to wait a long way getting help from different authorities, because their area is fully affected by drought. If they have to survive, they have to seek the help of people from other places. Okay, so soil erosion can also happen, because as it is dry, it is easily washed away by wind, not water. Okay, easily washed away by soil erosion by wind. So these are the problems that people face there. So what they have to do is, or what we can help them to do is, we have to plant crops which can withstand this drought. Drought resistant crops like maize, millets and all, they are drought resistant, they can grow in such areas where it is affected by drought. So people can feed on it. They have to follow rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting is very important for drought prone areas, because they can make use of this rainwater. It is good to have at least rainwater when there is scarcity of water. Even though it is not pure, we can at least have water to live, that's all. So rainwater harvesting should be practiced, planting of more and more plants or trees, so that water cycle is retained, the air is purified, we get more rain, all done with the help of plant. All these things are maintained or balanced with the help of plants. So we have to more plant in such areas, plant more trees in such areas. We have to follow rainwater harvesting and plant or grow drought resistant crops. That is also what we can do in order to protect those areas. Okay. So help should be rendered by all people who are able to do it. That's all about natural disasters. Natural disasters can happen anywhere at any time, because it is natural. We are not creating it. So what we have to do is, if we are affected by a natural disaster, or our area or our family is affected by a natural disaster, we have to act accordingly, according to the type of disaster. We have to act bravely to protect ourselves and to protect our family and neighbors. And if we are not affected by such a disaster, please don't feel safe and comfortable. You have to help others. That is why you are learning about such miseries, about natural disasters. We have to render help to others in money or in some other way. Many people will not be able to give money to the needy, but you can ask your neighbors, you can render your help as a human being, you can help them manually. All these things can be done to protect those who are affected by natural disasters. We have very clearly seen and we have very clearly shown an example to the whole world during the time of flood. We have helped others, we have helped in manually, that means we have helped them going out in such a situation and carrying people from affected areas to a safer place. We have helped them financially a lot. All these things shows the kindness in our mind, and this should continue. We have to love our fellow beings, isn't it? Because we are living in a society, we are a social animal, we cannot live without them. So help others if they are needed. In case of natural calamities, we have to be united, we have to work united in order to overcome such situations. It may happen, these things may happen in future more and more because of the pollution caused to earth. So in all these situations, the generation, you people are studying about natural calamities, you have to work properly. That is why you are giving such knowledge about all these natural calamities. You have to work accordingly, because the future of our country or of the world remains in the coming generation, isn't it? So everywhere this can happen, not only in India, not only in Kerala, in any other places it can happen. Wherever you are, you have to help others. We have got help from different countries when we were affected by flood, isn't it? So now it's not a situation, nobody can help us, because this is a that spreading of coronavirus or COVID-19. Nobody can help because all the countries are affected, isn't it? So that is equally, all countries are equally affected, so nobody can help. But in other case, when we had a flood here, every people who were gone to other countries from our place, not only that people, all the people from other parts of the world also helped us a lot, especially financially, so that even though their presence is not there, their blessings and their money are there to help the needy. So that mind should be there for each and every child who is growing up to save our our nation, so to save the world and to save our friends and all the inhabitants of around us, isn't it? So hope you all have got the value behind helping of the needy. I hope you all will be good citizens of tomorrow. So read your textbook. Thank you.